What's up, guys? I'm BTC. Welcome back to the Respawn, where I answer your questions. Today we're going to be talking about cross-platform play, more reworks, a fire-based character, and more. Gonna try something a little different today. I'm gonna try to answer the questions a little bit faster so that way I can get to more of them. The first one is gonna be, do you think a community challenge for Overwatch will be a good idea? Reward could be a new skin for everyone who contributed. So this was an idea that I had for the anniversary event, because with all the other events, there's like kind of a big theme and there's, you know, a game mode and all that sort of stuff. But with the anniversary event, it just feels like stuff is kind of thrown together. So I thought that they could do something like this. So a while back, way back, they had an event kind of like that in Team Fortress 2. It was the Demo Man versus Soldier. And you could play either of those characters, and whoever had the most eliminations on the other one would get a special item at the end of the event. I believe the Soldier ended up winning, and he got like a special set of boots or something. So they could do that for the anniversary event, and they could have like Overwatch versus Talon, or Junkers versus whatever. Or maybe it could just be a grudge match between two particular characters, like Ana and Widow, or whatever it happens to be, right? And then at the end of the anniversary event, they could then give a reward to whichever side ended up winning. And that could get like a special spray, a highlight intro, a skin, whatever it happened to be. Now, every player would have access to that. It's just it would specifically be for whichever side that won. Next one, is Healer Moira better than DPS Moira? So Moira has the highest healing output of any character in the game, while also having the lowest damage output of any character in the game. So if you're playing Moira as DPS, you're doing it wrong. Why is Blizzard so unbelievably bad when doing the patch notes? I have no idea. Probably because they are such a small indie dev company, they simply cannot afford to hire the people that would be needed to put together a simple text file that has the changes that they've been working on. I mean, maybe someday they'll be successful enough in order to, you know, get that stuff done, but until then, we just have to deal with unbelievably bad patch notes. Do you think the Hero 28 will be a specific Brigitta counter considering the whole stun meta thing in Season 10? Short answer, no. Longer answer, there's already a bunch of counters in the game. Bastion, Junkrat, Pharah, Widow, Hanzo, Soldier, plus a bunch more. They already counter Brigitta quite well. She's not used nearly as much as people think she is, and it's not really that much of a problem. Also, I find it unlikely that they would add a character to counter the previous one. Usually what they do is they have a bunch of characters already developed in advance, kind of like as concept ideas, and then they start working on them as they're getting further along with the other one. So as they were working on Brigitta, when they were getting to the points of finalizing the character, they were already working on the next one. They already knew what it was going to be. So it's not like they were waiting for Brigitta to all of a sudden be problematic and then just quickly starting to work on the next character. That's not how it works. Also, as far as the stun meta thing, it doesn't exist. It's never existed. Brigitta's stun is only 1 second. The other characters that can stun are 1 second or less. There's no stun meta. Right now, Season 10 is Hanzo, Zarya, Grav Dragon. That is the meta. After Torb, who do you think they'll rework? Well, if they're going by what I think they are, I would say probably Bastion, because it looks like what they're doing is they're going to the very, very bottom of the pick rates for the characters that are just simply not being used by the vast majority of the player base, and then they're just going through that, and they're gradually changing them. So they started with Symetra, which was at the absolute bottom, and then they went to Torb. Bastion is probably next. Do you think there should be crossplay in Overwatch? I don't think it's going to happen for a little while, for a couple of different reasons, and I've talked about this in the past. First of all, the consoles are on a different patch than the PC players. There are certain characters, most notably Torbjorn, that are weaker in the console version than they are in the PC version. So they would have to fix that first of all. But secondly, Sony doesn't like the crossplay stuff, and they have certain agreements and this and that and policies in place that make it so that they can't actually cross-platform with things like Xbox or PC or whatever. So I don't think it's going to happen. Do you think we'll ever get a fire-based character? Well, a fire-based character is essentially a damage over time character, and this is one of the things that really has not been used in Overwatch. There are a few things like Widow's Venom Mine, and some of the ultimates could be classified as a damage over time, but there's no single character that actually has like a consistent damage over time theme, and I think that's very possible. And it might not have to be fire. It could be like, you know, the whole poison thing or something else. You know, there's a bunch of variety that they could go with. I think it's possible, but if they're going to do it, I don't know. When will the patch be released? So the next one, it's already been preloaded if you have the Battle.net client up and running. So you should already have downloaded the next patch. I'm guessing it's going to be Tuesday, which would probably be when the patch goes live. And that's going to include the looking for group stuff, the endorsements, and the Symetra rework. Should Mei be converted to a tank? If she could have more defensive capabilities, I feel like she could make a good one. I've always said that I thought that they should convert Mei into a full-out tank, change some of her abilities a little bit, and, you know, buff out the health a little bit, but it seems like they're actually going in the complete opposite direction. They don't want Mei to be a tank. Instead, they want Mei to be a tank destroyer. So that kind of seems what they're doing, and so if that's the case, I don't think they're ever going to make Mei into a tank. I think they're going to try to push her more towards the DPS side of things. What is the deal with Jetpack Kat? Jetpack Kat is by far the best potential character that they could ever add. By the way, I do have Jetpack Kat t-shirts that are available in my shirt store, and there's a sale going on right now, so you can go and check that out if you want. Will any character, in your opinion, be taken out of the game? No. If they were going to do that, they would have done it already with Symetra, because the Symetra rework is essentially a brand new character. There is nothing about Symetra that is the same from the old version to the new version. Every single aspect of the character has been changed, with the exception of how she looks and like the voice lines and stuff like that. But all the abilities, all the attacks, everything has been drastically changed to something different. So I think if they're ever gonna say, well, you know, this character is garbage and we need to change it, they're not gonna remove it. They're just gonna do what they did with Symetra, which is just a full, total rework of the character. Based on the Sim rework, do you have any ideas for the Torb changes? Yes, I made an entire video explaining all the problems with Torbjorn as a character, why it's different for the lower bracket and the upper bracket players, how balancing a character that's a builder is innately difficult because of the way that the building stuff works, and also a bunch of my recommendations. So that's a video that I'll have linked down below or up on the screen. You can go and check that out. But there you have it, guys. That is all the questions for today. Remember, if you have any questions, comments, or ideas for the Respawn, make sure to leave it down below, and maybe you'll get picked for the next one. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out my Discord server. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter. The links for that stuff are down below. And remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault. Also, special thanks to all my Patreon supporters for helping to make this all possible. If you'd like to see what kind of cool rewards you can get for supporting the channel, check the links on screen and down below.